What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross, back at it again with another video. So we're gonna check out top 10 WWE moments that happened in the UK by none other than Wrestling Flashback. I wanted to check this video out because the timing is perfect. You got Clash at the Castle that will be happening in the UK in Cardiff, Wales, I believe. So that's happening tomorrow as of when I'm filming this, and it only makes sense to go back down memory lane and check out some of the best moments from happening overseas. There's been a few shows I've seen where they've had overseas or they do their European tour, and you guys be lit. The crowds out there on the European side of things, you guys be turned the hell up. It be amazing. The chants y'all have be amazing. So I always like when WWE takes those European tours or whatnot, goes over to the UK and show you guys some love, because you guys bring the energy. So I'm looking forward to Clash at the Castle because I know you guys are going to turn up. Let's get right into this video. Appreciate all the love and support. Let's do the damn thing. Son.
The United Kingdom is WWE's biggest market outside of the US. Since 1989, WWE has toured the UK almost every year. In 2022, WWE will promote its first stadium show in the UK for 30 years.
That's
On
crazy.
September 3rd, Cardiff's Principality Stadium will play host to a major pay-per-view event, the first on these shores since SummerSlam 1992. But over the past 30 years, WWE has presented many memorable moments and matches on their UK events.
Display. Hey, that's a roll up. Oh my God!
Jim Ross
So in
selling
this
the
video, I
commentary.
break down the 10 greatest WWE moments that have occurred in the UK.
You were excluded from activities with the other kids because you're a ginger.
Number 10,
Fancy,
William
though.
Regal and Eugene win the tag titles. William Regal had a pretty rough ride for most.
Now, some of y'all are saying the guy that played Eugene actually passed away. I'm not sure if that's true. I hope that's not true. Let me know if you guys can confirm that. But I remember I was streaming. You guys were telling me he had passed away. I'm not sure how true that is.
2003. After receiving a concussion at No Way Out, Regal then contracted a mysterious illness, and it was discovered that he had an underlying heart condition. The situation was so serious that he was taken off of WWE television for over a year, only returning on the April 5th, 2004 episode of Raw. And even then he couldn't wrestle, as he wasn't physically cleared to compete. He acted as Eugene's manager in the meantime. Eventually, after more tests and training, Regal was ready to return, as he started teaming with Eugene in pursuit of the World Tag Team titles. On the action to the Blackpool native was incredible. Inside 5 minutes, Regal clocked Sylvain Grenier with the brass knuckles. 3 seconds later, and the Manchester Evening News Arena lost its roof. Regal and Eugene stayed in the ring to celebrate until the party was ruined by Eric Bischoff, who restarted the match because of Regal using the brass knucks. Cutting the story short, the match was restarted, the crowd cheered out the BS chant, and one cheap finish later, and La Resistance retained the titles. Worst booking decision ever. The result only served to anger the fans in the arena, and as a result, the remainder of the show fell somewhat flat. The main event featured a 6-man tag match where a fan hopped the barrier and got into the ring, before being beaten up by Shawn Michaels and Edge. All in all,
Wow, damn. They were having it. Hey, you UK fans, man, y'all, you European fans, y'all let it be known. Hey, this some bull.
it wasn't a bad show, but it was an example of how one decision can kill a crowd. Number 9, Undertaker returns to in-ring action. Since retiring from active competition in 2010, The Undertaker had seldom been seen on the flagship show. Although he returned to TV every year during WrestleMania season, he never saw in-ring action on either Raw or SmackDown. But that all changed in 2013. One night removed from a stellar match against CM Punk at WrestleMania 29, The Undertaker paid tribute to the late great Paul Bearer on Raw, only to be interrupted by The Shield. Before they could unleash their fury on the dead man, Undertaker's brother Kane made the save along with Daniel Bryan. It appeared to be nothing more than a one-off occurrence, but actually set up a 6-man tag team match for Raw in England 2 weeks later. A rare treat for the London crowd. In his first match on Raw in nearly 3 years, Undertaker was no worse for wear. He hung in there with the young up-and-comers, giving the undefeated trio a major rub in the process. Although his team came up short against the Shield, it was still surreal to see the Brothers of Destruction, and Daniel Bryan of course, team up one last time on Raw. Number 8, exclusive UK pay-per-views. During the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras, WWE tried experimenting with exclusive pay-per-views in the United Kingdom. The company had a huge following in the UK and wanted to treat fans to 1 or 2 special pay-per-views each year. Shows like Rebellion and Insurrection would take place live in the UK and air on pay-per-view there. North American fans would only get the chance to buy the shows on VHS or DVD. Some of the many highlights include The Rock vs Triple H vs Shane McMahon in a triple threat match at Insurrection 2000. It was full of classic Attitude Era tomfoolery, where The Rock retained his WWE Championship and sent the London crowd home happy. We also got to witness a match featuring perhaps the greatest rivalry in wrestling history in The Rock vs Stone Cold at Rebellion 2001, a show which I actually attended live in Manchester.
Wow.
While it doesn't quite have the historical importance of their WrestleMania show closers, it was awesome to see and kind of like watching the WrestleMania 17 match, but in much more intimate surroundings. There's no real footage of the segment after the match online because it was pre-social media, but they went on to have themselves a singing contest after the match, which was downright hilarious for all us fans in attendance. But these UK pay-per-views weren't all sunshine and rainbows, as Insurrection 2002 is remembered for all the wrong reasons, as this was the overseas tour with the infamous plane ride from hell. I won't go into too much detail here, but there is an episode on Vice's Dark Side of the Ring covering this incident where various wrestlers would get suspended, fined, or
boys was wild on that plane, bro. Like legit wild. Was doing some wild shit.
Even fired for their controversial actions on the plane. The show itself was also a huge disappointment. Number 7, celebrity appearances. When visiting the UK, you can guarantee WWE will reference British culture. Stage sets are more often adorned with giant Union Jack flags, telephone boxes, and of course, the black cab. Another thing they tend to use in these shows is our British celebrities. Whether it's boxing, football, or rock stars, we've seen them all. From ex-footballer Vinnie Jones receiving a red card and sharing a beer with Stone Cold back in the 90s, to England legend Wayne Rooney being goaded by Wade Barrett, only for Wayne to reach over the barricade and plant a stinging slap across Barrett's face.
He sold that slap.
We've also seen boxing world champion Lennox Lewis walk out to the ring with the British Bulldog during Summerslam 92 at Wembley Stadium, which was an epic moment. As well as this, we saw British boxing legend Ricky Hatton guest host Raw in Sheffield in 2009, resulting in him actually having a match with Chavo Guerrero in what was quite a comedic segment. Also, world champion Tyson Fury came to the aid of Braun Strowman on an
I remember Tyson Fury showing up on the show.
Episode of SmackDown in Manchester in 2019 to beat down the B Team. The British celebrity appearances have always popped the UK crowds, and in particular, on an episode of Raw in 2007, we saw former Chelsea coach Jose Mourinho receive a grilling from Shane McMahon. Shane showed his lack of football knowledge by referring to him as the head coach of the Chelsea football game.
The head coach, if you will, of the Chelsea football game.
And then went on to say that he witnessed Great Britain's greatest wrestler single-handedly defeat 6 men in a pub brawl the previous night. Then, just when Mourinho probably thought he was safe, Shane took one last dig at him.
If you can call them men, actually I think they were members of your Chelsea football club.
Damn.
Number 6, One Night Only. The first WWE United Kingdom exclusive pay-per-view came in 1997 with One Night Only. Great matches like Bret Hart versus The Undertaker, Vader versus Owen Hart, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Dude Love showed that this was no run-of-the-mill televised house show. At the time, the pay-per-view wasn't available to US audiences, making it that extra bit special. 3 weeks after Bret Hart had won the gold off Undertaker at SummerSlam, the pair met again in Birmingham in a big-time main event for the UK crowd. An electric contest from start to finish. The bout is only marred by its slightly screwy finish. Critics also call the bout between Undertaker and Bret Hart the last truly great match the Hitman had. Topping off a stellar card was Shawn Michaels and British Bulldog clashing over the European Championship. These two had good chemistry with one another and usually produced a stirring bout thanks to the size versus speed dynamic, as well as Shawn's crazy bumping style. The showstopper worked over Bulldog's injured knee and locked in a figure 4 leg lock. Bulldog dramatically tried to power out but eventually succumbed to the pain and passed out. The controversial ending saw Michaels win a solid match, beating the hometown hero. Predictably, the UK crowd almost rioted after the decision. However, that only added to the drama. Michaels was in his full HBK heel mode, goading the...
Look at the trash in the ring, bro. That just lets you know right then and there how pissed people were, and that's what you want. You want that hatred when you're a heel. You want that disgust. Now, of course, you can't throw stuff in the ring now. You will get fucking probably arrested or fined or whatnot. They'll kick you out. But back then, it was all fair game.
Brummy crowd as they threw litter into the ring after the defeat of their British hero on home soil.
That's awesome, bro. That's
Number 5,
awesome.
AJ Styles wins the WWE Championship. Although WWE have been visiting the UK for decades, one of the biggest disappointments has been that UK fans don't really expect too much in terms of story developments and title changes to occur across the pond. Sure, we are lucky enough to see our favourite superstars, but there has never been anything of consequence when it comes to results.
Nothing consequential or newsworthy ever comes from London, England.
All that changed one bizarre night in Manchester. A seemingly innocuous championship match was set up between then champion Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles. Just weeks before an advertised Survivor Series match against...
Yeah, it was right before their Survivor Series match, because no one really believed Jinder fucking Mahal would ever stand a chance against Brock Lesnar in a champion versus champion match. I forgot all about this. It was a great move, because AJ and Brock, they had a fantastic match at Survivor Series that year.
Brock Lesnar, it seemed a foregone conclusion that Mahal's reign would continue, but by the end of the match, it would be Styles lifting the title as the new WWE champion. The fans in attendance witnessed history, as this was the first time the world title had changed hands outside of North America.
SmackDown Live was a different beast, man.
NXT TakeOver London. The yellow and black brand has always been well received by the UK audience.
Yep. I think I remember seeing this. Fucking love takeovers.
So when NXT visited a packed out Wembley arena, magic was in the air. From its soundtrack of Motorhead and the Struts to Finn Balor's Jack the Ripper style entrance, the event was wildly successful. Although Balor's entrance stole the show, the main event was an absolute barnstormer. A brutal back and forward played out in front of a lively London crowd. What took place over 19 minutes was breathless, hard-hitting action. The London crowd in Wembley Arena lost their minds at the superb athleticism on display. The story of the match was both men attempted to weaken the other sufficiently to enable them to successfully hit their finisher. In the end, it was Balor who would win out, battling out of a muscle buster attempt and nailing Joe with a coup de grace to retain his NXT
good
title.
moment, bro.
Other notable matches on the card included Bayley vs Nia Jax for the NXT Women's Championship and Asuka vs Emma in an incredibly hot opener. Number 3, John Cena vs Shawn Michaels, two huge superstars, one a current Hall of Famer, the other a surefire future entrant.
For sure.
Add in a wrestling ring, a lively audience, and near on a full hour of scintillating action, and witness one of the best matches in decades. Cena has always had his critics, but on a memorable night in London, the 16-time champ earned some begrudging respect from the WWE universe. Michaels would even claim this to be one of his favorite matches in his illustrious career. Originally, Raw was supposed to see John Cena take on Shawn Michaels in the main event, while Edge battled Randy Orton, but because Orton was sent home from the European tour for misbehavior, the time their match would have received was given to Cena and Michaels, resulting in a near hour-long bout. That's right,
crazy,
John Cena stood
bro.
toe-to-toe with HBK for almost a full hour. An hour of back and forth wrestling,
That's
drama,
impressive,
and big
bro.
moves. And really what made this match so great is that it just came completely out of nowhere. Nobody expected a nearly 60-minute match between the top two stars headliner show taking place in the UK, especially not since they were only 3 weeks removed from their WrestleMania 23 main event. Another surprise was the showstopper picking up the clean victory after landing on his feet from an FU attempt and blasting Big Match John with a little sweet chin music.
Right. Look at that! Oh, yes! Sweet chin, cover!
Ah, bro. They had a nice little build up to their WrestleMania match, man. I love their WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 23. Part of me do wish HBK would have won that at WrestleMania 23 as his last hoorah. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking if he would have won. Oh my God. But nevertheless, they did have a nice build up to their match.
Well constructed, psychologically sound epic. It deserved all the plaudits it has received over the years. One of the finest matches of 2007 and one of the best matches to ever take place in the UK. Number 2, UK chants. British wrestling
I
fans.
was just saying, y'all chants are just, they're great. They're fucking fantastic. I love
Have
it.
known to be some of the greatest. No
Yes.
short part due to the chants they come up with during a show. Their incorporation of football chants, as well as some classic British bangers with a wrestling twist, make for an incredible atmosphere. So with that being said, here is a short compilation of some of the greatest British fan chants over the years. Enjoy.
Are you ready?
That's awesome. Bro, I can't. Y'all don't understand how excited I am to see Clash at the Castle because I know you guys are going to go in fucking insane. To all my UK subscribers, I know you guys are going to go insane. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because I know these chants are going to be fucking crazy.
Boys in Enzo and Cass in this semifinal matchup. And Enzo.
Bro, look at that, dog.
What are you even saying? These accents are terrible.
And now Corbin looking to do the same to Bobby Roode.
He was going bald.
Aggressive inside the ring. We're seeing that right now.
I mean, Elias is a dual-star athlete. Just imagine if he can.
That's awesome, bro.
All right, that's enough of that.
Number 1, SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium.
I figured this was gonna be that obviously, even though I was like fucking 1 year old, I know the significance, I know the importance, and I've seen the footage and highlights of this whole event.
Nowadays, WWE has become accustomed to bumper crowds and huge events. Long before WrestleMania moved to stadium shows on a full-time basis, 80,000 fans packed into Wembley for SummerSlam. Tickets and merchandise are reported to have brought in over $3.5 million, which even by today's standards stands up. It is in fact still the 4th highest attendance in the company's history, and still used as an argument to give the UK another stadium pay-per-view, which we now have, although it is 30 years later. The SummerSlam 1992 headliner was built around the UK's greatest wrestling export, the British Bulldog. The main event of British Bulldog vs Bret the Hitman Hart for the Intercontinental Championship is arguably one of the best SummerSlam matches of all time. The match had it all. It was taking place in front of a massive hot crowd. The action was smooth and exciting, and it had the right result. Really, Davey Boy and the Hitman worked a 5-star masterpiece in front of Wembley Stadium, and it's all the more impressive when you know the backstory to it. As documented in Hart's memoir, it's not a stage the Bulldog was equipped to perform on. According to Bret, Smith combated his crippling nerves with drugs and wound up allegedly so strung out from smoking crack with Jim Neidhart that Bret had to remind him of every single calculated and nuanced spot the pair had planned in front of the expectant 80,000 plus crowd. Nevertheless, it's an excellent match and just about holds up to this day. After 25 minutes of action, Smith countered Hart's sunset flip and got the 1-2-3 in his first and only Intercontinental Championship. It was the peak of his WWE career. 30 years on, and this is still one of the finest wrestling bouts to ever take place in the UK. And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next.
That's insane. You're calling the whole match. Hey, do this, do this, do this. Without it being seen, without people recognizing it. That's fucking insane, bro. In front of 80,000 people. Whew. Insane. But yeah, man, I am so looking forward to Clash at the Castle. This was cool just seeing some of these moments, remembering some of these moments, and appreciating you UK guys out there, the overseas fans of WWE. I do appreciate you guys and the energy you bring to the event. So, for my UK subscribers, man, comment down below. Let me know if you're going to Clash at the Castle. Let me know. I'm looking forward to checking out the show, and I'm also looking forward to seeing how awesome you guys are going to be in the crowd, because I know you guys are going to kill it. But I appreciate all love and support. Road to 100K. Appreciate y'all kicking with me. See you on the next one. Peace.